I say.
Up, down.
Just past the lake there on the
Past the
trail.
lake on your way.
Bill.
Okay, real quick, if I don't want to interrupt when we get this. Oh, I'm sure you did.
You guys ready?
Thank you so.
It's the trash thing.
Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Ask everybody to please stand. Please join in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you please remain standing, we have a moment of silence for those serving overseas for our country, those serving here at home. Those here at City Hall, our employees and staff, and most importantly, our residents, and any of us that have lost a loved one or a friend recently. Thank you. May be seated. This time, we'll have roll call.
Mr. Taylor,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Ms. Hatton. Here. Mr. Goops,
Here.
Mr. Upshaw,
Here.
Mrs. Henderson. Here. Ms. Wadlow. Here. Mayor Robinson,
Here.
Ms. Matlock.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Next, we have adoption of the agenda. Is there any discussion on the agenda as printed?
Move to adopt, Taylor. Second, Bruce.
A motion and a second to adopt. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the agenda as printed, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have an adoption of the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
Move to adopt, Bruce. Second. Okay.
Have a motion and a second to adopt the consent agenda as printed. If there's no further discussion, this will be a roll call vote.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Hatton. Yes. Mr. Goops.
Yes.
Mr. Upshaw.
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson.
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow. Yes. Mayor Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Matlock.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have citizens hearings and presentations of petitions. Citizens' comments and discussion which will be heard at this time, subject to the established rules of the decorum and shall be limited to a total of 15 minutes. With each speaker limited to a total of 3 minutes, which may be increased by discretion of the chair or by motion approved by a majority of the council members present at the meeting. Is there anybody from the audience who would like to come up and speak at this point in time? Under citizens' comments, please step forward.
Hello, I'm back. Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council, my name again is Mike Henley Hudson. My husband and I are residents in Ward 8. We live in what's called the Rivers area. Just learned that recently. I spoke at the last City Council meeting regarding adding sexual orientation to Hazelwood's non-discrimination policy. I am here again because this is a very important issue of equality and to include all Hazelwood residents. I do want to confirm that the LGBT population is everywhere. We always will be, including in this room as we speak. Some are out of the closet, while some still are in the closet. In closing, I ask the City Council to vote tonight under new business to add sexual orientation to Hazelwood's non-discrimination policy. Hazelwood's LGBT community deserves to be protected and valued as all citizens of Hazelwood. As I stated in the last council meeting, I would be glad to join Hazelwood's Community Enrichment Commission once sexual orientation is added to Hazelwood's non-discrimination policy. Again, thank you for your attention to this important issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Keeping it under 3 minutes, I would like to remind everybody that we still have the 3 minute time limit, but I will give you a warning in 3 minutes, and if it goes a little longer, whatever it takes, we'll work with it. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm here again and I'm gonna talk to you about three things, okay? The first one, I don't think any charter that's outdated should
Can
keep.
you tell us your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought y'all knew me, Marge Hoffel. And I've been a Hazelwood resident since 1970 something. I love my community and I appreciate everything the council does to keep it being a strong community that it is. Okay, with that aside, now here I go. These are litter facts that I know some of the council members have not heard, and I'm gonna keep it short. For those plastic bags in the stores, depending on what velocity of plastic they have and what kind of folding they use, will take anywhere from 20 to 100 years to be removed from the soil or bottles, 400 to 500 years. Cigarettes, this is my strong point now here. Cigarettes take 18 months to 10 years to break down when they're tossed out of the cars. Our ashtrays are emptied in our community or in our parks. Here's the bad part. The breaking down of the cigarette filters, it takes leaves nicotine, arsenic, and cyanide in our parks, and this toxins leach into our water systems where kids are swimming in ponds, lakes, whatever. Think about that next time your kid wants to go to swim in the park. They did a study and they put one filter in a fish tank, and within 96 hours, 50% of the fish that were in that tank were dead. Think of that going into our waterways down there when we do our catfishing. The Litter Camp Green Committee, which I'm proud to be a member of, in the years 22, 23, and 24, okay, cutting it short, picked up 9,000 pounds of litter and 1,500 pounds of recyclable from the Hazelwood area. This figure does not include the amazing residents we have in Hazelwood that while they're walking Fido, take their bags and pick up litter. It doesn't include the ones that do their exercise, take steps and pick up litter in our community. Litter is the one thing that will help to take a community down, because residents are going to move out, businesses are going to move out. I'd like to see a stronger presence in a campaign to take litter seriously, whether it be through the Green Committee or whether it be through each one of you helping in your wards to set up a litter group organization that we can cope with too, okay? Thirdly, I think I've lost my track. I want to thank the police officers in Hazelwood for supporting our litter campaign, for letting us know what areas they feel would benefit from pickups. And I can't express more gratitude than what the leadership of our police department does to keep us safe while we're out there doing these pickups. I just wanted to say thank you to them and thank you for listening to me for my time is up. Bye.
Thank you.
Good morning, good evening, council members. My name is Jessica Platt. I've been a resident of Hazelwood since I was 6 years old, so going on 35 years now. I just want to echo what the two previous speakers said. They are incredibly important issues. I am for you guys voting tonight to add to the new agenda. An agenda, adding to it, voting on equal rights for all members. I am a proud ally of you guys, and I think that our city should echo that. And to echo the litter, you know, I try to pick up litter every time I go and take my dog for a walk, and it just seems like it is never ending. I really would like more effort put forth by you guys showing that you are in alliance with that, with the Green Committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else from the audience who'd like to come up and speak?
Good evening. My name is Heather Jones and I live at 135 Beaujolais Drive in Riverwood Estates, Ward 8, Hazelwood. My home is fully paid off and I pay my property taxes and HOA dues annually. I'm on the Community Enrichment Committee and have served for more than 6 years as the co-chair in the past. At the August 20th City Council meeting, Councilwoman Jen Hatton and Riverwood Estates trustee Sharon Dash proclaimed with conviction, I am not a resident, and called for my removal as a volunteer from the Community Enrichment Commission. These statements were inaccurate. The meeting was recorded and viewed by approximately 1,500 individuals. During and after the recorded meeting, Hatton and Dash wrote comments on the side chat. Councilman Hatton and Riverwood Estates Common Grounds trustee Sharon Dash previously served on the Community Enrichment Commission and both resigned. Councilwoman Hatton has resigned from 4 appointed Hazelwood-related roles. She has resigned from the Community Enrichment Commission, the Riverwood Development Group, the Riverwood Trails HOA trustee, and the You Choose organization. If their true intent was to nominate a new Community Enrichment Commission candidate for Ward 8, I just want to let you know, which you all should know, it's relevant to note that if that was their main goal, there are 15 open vacancies on the Community Enrichment Commission, including 2 in Ward 8. I request that public post on Facebook, Next Door Neighbor, Riverwood Estates, social media pages, referencing me, my family, and my property cease. I also request that in any monitoring of my residence or movements that I make or my family members make stop, as these have coincided with incidents of property damage and theft. I am requesting that current and former Riverwood Homeowner Association's trustees, including Trustee Dash and associated board members, refrain from making inaccurate statements or issuing retaliatory HOA violations. Additionally, I request clarification regarding the City of Hazelwood's process for investigating council member actions. Specifically, I'm requesting an ethical inquiry by City Council, Mayor, and City Manager regarding misuse of authority and procedural misconduct of Jen Hatton. I am seeking information on whether it is standard procedure for a council member to request the removal of a Hazelwood volunteer and whether such actions are subject to review. The situation is not without precedence. In June 2024, Councilwoman Hatton revoked my comprehensive plan commission nomination which was later reinstated and approved by the council. Tonight, I am formally requesting a full investigation into this matter, specifically that the council look to Chapter 110, qualifications, removal, and codes of conduct, ethics for council members. I ask that if any findings result from the investigation, appropriate actions be taken in accordance with the city policy. This request is made to ensure that the Hazelwood residents and volunteers like myself are treated fairly and are not subject to inaccurate claims or retaliatory actions by individuals in positions of authority. Thank you for your time, and I would like now to submit my formal complaint to the city clerk. May I?
Yes. Thank you.
This is what I just said.
Thank you.
Anybody else under citizens' comments? Anybody else under citizen comments at this time? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and close that portion of the meeting closed. And we'll move on with public hearings. We've got Chef's Kiss LLC, petition for saying special land use permit for a restaurant. Anybody from the audience like to come up and speak? Yes, ma'am, go right ahead.
I'm Cecile Denny. I am the Hazelwood City Planner. Chef's Kiss, operating as Big Boy Burgers, is proposing to open a full-service restaurant at 6186 Howdershell Road. The restaurant will operate Sunday through Sunday, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. They will serve primarily American bar and grill type of food, especially elevated hamburger type of food. They will be applying for a liquor license, and there will be 7 employees on maximum shift. The restaurant provides 3,300 square feet inside with an additional 1,000 square feet of patio space. There will be 49 table seats and 10 bar stools inside the restaurant, with an additional 11 seats outdoors, for a total of 49 seats in the entire restaurant. There are 65 parking spaces available for the entire strip center. When you include this restaurant, the required parking spaces will bring it to a total of 133 required. Even with a 25% reduction in required parking spaces, that would bring the required number of parking spaces required for the entire strip center down to 100 spaces. However, since the strip center was constructed in 1985, it has been allowed to run at a parking deficit because it predated the current parking code. The property is currently zoned C2 general commercial. Surrounding businesses include Subway, Hunan Kitchen, Puff Zone, and Time of the Essence Salon. And the petitioner is here to present this evening. Jeffrey Reed, please come up. And if you'll sign your name here.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How you doing today?
Couldn't be better unless I hit the Powerball.
Give it 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm waiting. So I am currently the owner of Big Boy Burgers in Florissant, land feed directly next to Schnucks. Things are going well. Been there approaching a little over 3 years at this point, and fortunately, we've outgrown the spot. I've always wanted to have a bar and grill. The property came available. Felt like it was the appropriate move to kind of keep it in the same area as I want to enhance the dining experience as it relates to North County, specifically Florissant, Hazelwood area. It's tough, man. It's tough getting a good meal around these parts. I gotta be honest about it. I believe that food being the one thing or one of many things that we actually consume into our bodies is something that's extremely important. I think that it should be treated with passion. And I think that you should have fresh product and just really concentrate on the ingredients that go into what we put in our mouths. So that's what we bring to the table. We're gonna kind of combine a couple of different things. So we're gonna take, like, if you will, as I spoke in my first meeting, if you could think of a Ruth Chris combining with an Applebee's. So we'll have like almost two menus, one on a premium side and one on a regular bar menu side. We don't want to eliminate anyone's palate or anyone's of what they want. We want everybody to feel welcome, whether you want a lobster tail or if you want a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. So we're going to offer a lot of different things. Several TVs, isolated areas if people would like to have maybe a family event with a nice big TV in front of that for sporting events. Elevated alcoholic beverage menu. I have a mixologist that came together and created some amazing drinks. Beer kegs, taps, you name it, we're gonna have it. So in the process of getting this special use permit, we will be redoing the inside completely, paint, floors, bar, everything will make sure that the menu matches the ambiance. So that's what we bring to the table, and I hope everything goes well and we can start business in Hazelwood. Really looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you for considering Hazelwood.
Absolutely.
At this time, if that's all from both, there'd be council questions, if there's any questions from the council or discussion.
What kind of time frame are you? I was just, well, first, I've been to your place there, next to Schnucks several times. I'm a fan. I'm looking forward to.
My man.
Right down the street.
Yes, sir.
And what time did you say your hours again?
11:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. We're gonna try to operate 7 days a week, man. We don't want to miss anything. Sports season, especially with football, gonna be winding up. We'll make sure we're available for those Sunday nights, Thursday nights, Monday nights.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else from the council?
How long do you plan on opening? What kind of time frame would you look at for
Shooting for early December. I'm fortunate enough that we applied for the state liquor license and I actually just received it back on Friday. So I'm super excited about that. Had a lot of I's to dot, T's to cross, but that actually came through. So we're waiting on the special use permit from you guys, and then we'll get started and submit the application for Hazelwood and then go to county. So as long as those things go well without hiccups, shooting for early December will be a good time.
I guess, not for you to answer, I'm sorry. I guess East Spot.
East Spot,
they're done?
East Spot is, they are done. They left, they are no longer in business.
I like your hours much better.
Yeah.
I'm a retired teacher and I know that the schools over there are always looking, they're always like texting me, where's a good restaurant to eat at around here? So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna point them your way if you,
Oh, yeah.
they'll be coming over.
For sure. Well, and like I said, it would be a great spot for them too, because we'll have burgers, fries.
Do you have takeout?
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna live there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll live there.
Great place for us to go at council meetings.
You better understand it. And I mean, I'm really getting into, this will be my first bar and grill, so I'm learning a lot as I go along, but not a day goes by that I'm not deep into it, trying to research things. So we're looking at a lot of really good wines and just a lot of, you know what I mean? So it'll be a good spot for grown folks to be able to just sit back, chill, and just feel comfortable.
Good forward to it.
Absolutely.
If there's no further questions from city council, this is a public hearing. And we have to provide, we do provide time for the audience to come up and speak. So if you would like to step aside,
For sure.
they would come up and ask any questions or any information they'd like to know about the restaurant. Is there anybody from the audience that'd like to come up and ask any questions? Yes.
I'm open book.
All right. Are you guys gonna be offering non-alcoholic drinks?
We are.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thought of it.
That's like the new thing now, because everybody doesn't drink, so we have to cater to everybody. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Will there be vegan and vegetarian options?
Can you speak into the microphone so we have it on record?
Okay. Will there be vegan and vegetarian options?
So I am speaking with my executive cook about that right now, but I know that we are gonna bring some of the vegetarian options that we have at my burger spot now, like Impossible Meat Burgers and things of that nature. So
Okay,
those will be available, but looking to enhance it a little bit. Not really my space, but my chef knows a lot about it. So it's a yes and a maybe.
there's a big crowd out there.
Yeah, I know.
If I find a vegan restaurant, there's no parking space. Everybody in town's there.
Say no more. I'll be texting them when we get out of here.
They do well.
Yes.
Good afternoon, or good evening. I have a question, but I also want to tell the council members, I have been at your restaurant too. I was the grandma that came in and got that ginormous burger. Yeah. The comment was, that's for you.
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
It
she
took me
got it.
4 days to
Whoa.
eat it with 2 other people, but
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, thanks.
My question to you is, will you have any music or entertainment for the late night crowds?
We're not looking to do the traditional quote unquote bar atmosphere with like DJs and those types of things. We'll be having some soft music playing in the background and those types of things. And on certain nights, depending on the menu and the ambiance and those types of things, we may have like live musicians, like, you know, violins and things like that, or they call the trumpet. And stuff like that, but just a real mellow atmosphere. We're trying to make sure that it stays in a grown folk atmosphere.
We look forward to it.
Thank you, thank you. I still can't believe you got that burger. Massive, I couldn't believe it.
Anybody else from the audience? Okay, I'll go ahead and call the public hearing be closed and council can ask any more questions they might have. If not, we make a recommendation, go ahead and do first reading.
I'll make a motion, put it on.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have to have the planning and zoning recommendation.
Read that.
Read that first.
Mr. McGee made a motion, seconded by Mr. Rodell, to approve the petition for a restaurant at 6186 Outer Shell Road, Ward 2, with the following conditions. The owner shall be required to maintain a fully functioning video recording system on the property to ensure the safety of guests, to deter criminal activity, and to assist law enforcement in following up on reported criminal activity. The cameras should be set up to accurately record entry, exit doors from the inside, any area where money may be handled or stored inside of the business, and a view of the parking lot from the front door of the business. The system shall be checked by the owner on a weekly basis to ensure proper functionality, and the owner shall be responsible for making any appropriate repairs as soon as reasonably possible upon determining a defect in operation. The owner operator shall agree to make the recording data available to law enforcement upon request. Recordings shall be saved and able to be retrieved for a minimum of 30 days. The lawn and parking lot may not be used for dining, seating, or congregating. All activity associated with the business shall take place indoors or on the fenced-in patio area. No outdoor music shall be allowed during the hours of operation of the neighboring child care center. Public access shall be prohibited through the rear doors. Installation of hookah equipment or smoking of hookah shall be prohibited. Landscaping and screening shall be installed in accordance with the landscape plan approved on November 15th, 2023. The motion passed unanimously.
Thank you. Now, if there's no further questions, go ahead.
I will make a motion to put it on for first reading.
Second.
Been a motion and a second to put this on, approve and put this on for first reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
May be seated.
Appreciate it, folks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Dave Tuberty with item 8B, establishment of the 225 property tax rates.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council, Dave Tuberty, Director of Finance. We're here again. The state of Missouri requires every year that the city of Hazelwood establish tax rates for all real and personal property. The Board of Equalization of St. Louis County has not yet adjusted assessed valuations. The final rates will be determined when the Board of Equalization submits those final assessments to the cities. And that usually happens sometime early to mid-September. The rates are to be reported to St. Louis County so that we may be included in the property tax collection for 2025. Staff will be asking that the bill be approved for first reading tonight. So this year, the taxable assessed valuation is at $794 million. That amount is adjusted by about 6 million for TIF. We have one TIF that remains, and that just brings the assessed valuation down for us. 25 is a reassessment year. The assessed valuation increased this year by about 12%, and that's the preliminary. Likely what happens in a reassessment year is it goes down a bit, but not a lot. This is probably what we're looking at. The final valuation should be available to us soon, and we'll be notified by the county, and hopefully it'll be prior to the next meeting. Just a little bit about assessed valuation. Hazelwood is ranked 13th among 88 St. Louis County municipalities, as it was last year and has been for many years, actually. We're ranked 3rd, North County, Maryland Heights being the highest. And you can see where we stand, just graphically, where we stand among those top 14 municipalities, with Chesterfield being way higher than everyone else. But among the rest of the other 13, there's really only, there's not a whole lot of difference. The assessments go down, but we're still in the same places we were before. Our assessed valuation, however, does continue to increase, which is a good thing. Most of it is due to commercial, but even the residential properties do continue to improve. And you can see the trend continues. There's been a couple of years where they slide back a little bit, but this year we're back up again. And the revenue that we expect to receive from that, about $4.8 million in the general fund, which is consistent with prior years. The bond levy, the debt service amount, will be zero. The GO bonds that we had out from many years have been paid in full, and so there will be no debt service assessment for this year. We budget at approximately about 98% of collections. The collection is dependent upon what might be protested, delinquent. That's what we have, so. And here are the breakdown of the rates. Residential, and when we say $0.582, we're talking about $0.582 per $100 of assessed valuation. So essentially what it is, the county determines actual rate. About a third of that is for commercial, about a third of that is assessed valuation, 19% of it for residential. And then from there, every $100 of that assessed valuation is taxed at 58.582, or essentially 58.2 cents. Last year it was 0.633. The commercial rate, 0.578, down from 0.661 last year. Personal property, 0.754, has not changed as long as I've been here. Let's see. Okay, again, we mentioned that the street bond levy is zero. Those GO bonds are paid, and we will not be collecting any taxes related to that. Last year, it was at 0.113. That had been down from the initial assessment was 22 cents for many years. So from the life of the bond, it just started to go down the last couple of years. Agricultural, small part of our area, but it is there. we have 0.668, and it's down from last year at 0.778. Oop. Okay, one other component of the tax assessment is a sewer lateral repair fee that is tacked onto all the resident property tax bills. This year, it's at $10 per residential unit. It was $10 last year. As a matter of fact, last year, this council voted to decrease it from $20 to $10. Just as a side note, there are 68 municipalities that collect a sewer lateral repair fee at all. Most of them are at $28. That is the voter approved levy. There are two municipalities that are under that, one of them being Hazelwood, and we are the lowest rate for that. There are a couple of cities that charge higher than that, $50. Most are at 28% or $28 though. And this is just kind of an illustration of what this means to maybe a homeowner that looks like this. If the market value of their real property went up by about 5%, say over this year, the tax rate went down still, and in this particular instance of say an example of 35,000 going up to 141,000 this year, the tax rate for going to the city of Hazelwood went down by $3. Personal property tax, we show what this would be every year, but it has not changed. There's no increase to the property. This is where it gets interesting. The bond levy, where it might have been about $40 last year, there will be $0 this year. So, and then of course the sewer lateral assessment holding steady at 10. The net effect for this particular example of a homeowner is about a decrease of $34. Based on this, so everybody will know that their rates are going to go down. Everybody's rates going down. If their assessed valuation is higher than it's a lot higher, their bill might go up, but it's not going to be because of Hazelwood's rates. And you can see a history, just a quick history of the property tax rates. You can see over the last 10 years that it really had held steady for many years and has been continually decreasing. The rates are, we have a cap of our rates that are determined by the state auditor. Once we submit the rates every year, they tell us if we fall within, they will do a calculation based on our assessment and our assessed valuations and what we have collected in taxes over the years, and they will tell us what the maximum that we can do is. Those rates have been going down. Another thing to point out, for a person's tax bill, property tax bill in Hazelwood, the city of Hazelwood only gets about 9% of that. The rest of it goes to various other taxing agencies. The largest benefactor of property taxes here in Hazelwood is, of course, the Hazelwood School District, and that has not changed much in years. Okay, so finally, the second council meeting of the month is scheduled for September 17th. There's always the chance that the final assessed valuation will not be reported by that date, though it has not ever happened as long as I've been here. We've usually had the proper rates when we come to the second reading. They also don't change all that much between one reading and the next. If that is the case, we may need to ask for a special meeting. The reason for that is the county approves after the council approves the property tax rates, I will notify St. Louis County of those rates, and those rates are due to St. Louis County by October 1st. So that is the presentation. Are there any questions?
Any questions from council?
I have questions. Mr. Puberty, I just wanted to clarify, because there are some misconceptions out there in regards to property taxes. Everything's pretty much starts and ends at the county assessor's office. They establish the property evaluation, and then they compile all the, like that final slide of the different taxing rates for that individual piece of property. So I just wanted to clear up how that works and to dispel any misconception that might be out there in regards to that.
And as I mentioned, this is an assessment year, so the questions do come in, they come in to me, I'm sure you get them too. But when it comes to the property value, that is determined by the St. Louis County Assessor's Office. We do not have any input into what that might be. It's just reported to us so that we can make our rate determinations. Now, the rates themselves, that's what we're here to discuss. We're determined, you, the council, determines what those rates are going to be, hopefully based on my suggestion. But as far as the actual valuation of the property, the material that we have to work with, that is all determined by St. Louis County, the St. Louis County Assessor's Office.
And then the second question I had, and on one slide, it showed the street debt levy. I just wanted to make sure and clear up any misconceptions that are out there. The street projects that are on the horizon for Ottershell and Lindbergh, those have no impact on that debt whatsoever.
Those are being, right now, every future street program that we have in the budget is either budgeted in economic development or in capital, but they're not, we don't have what the debt service rate refers to is a general obligation bond that was approved by the voters back in 2005, I believe, originally, and reassessed or reevaluated over a couple of years. But anything that we've got that we currently have in the budget for the next 5 years is for streets is all paid for out of governmental fund budgets. Any new debt, any new general obligation debt will go before the voters.
Thank you. That's all I had.
Thank you. Is there any other questions from council? Hearing that this is also a public hearing, so Dave, you could step aside. I'd ask any of the audience, anybody, residents or anybody from the audience like to come up and speak, have any questions about the property tax rates, the 2025 property tax rates? Anybody from the audience? Well, once, twice, 3 times, go ahead and call the public hearing be closed. There is no recommendation from planning and zoning. So this would just be, if anybody has any further questions for David, if not, this would just be a motion to approve without the first reading.
I make motion approved.
I'll second.
There's been a motion and a second. Yes. Well, I said, well, I think that's what it's going on for first reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. There is nothing wrong under communication, unfinished business, discussion of amending chapter 110, qualifications, removal, and codes of conduct, ethics, and or consequence. Open for discussion. I don't have any lights in front of us. I don't use that speak as they want.
I just would like to say that I do not support this current document as it is. Not that I don't support that this council needs a code of conduct. I wholeheartedly do. The way that we have been behaving has not been productive or beneficial to our residents or our staff. And we must do better. However, this specific document centralizes sole authority over what constitutes acceptable conduct, how such conduct is addressed, and what repercussions are enforced entirely in the hands of the mayor or the mayor pro tem. At this time, I don't believe either individual should be granted that level of unchecked authority. Just last week, the mayor publicly stated that he chooses who to respond to via email based on personal preference, whether he likes the individual or whether he likes their council representative. He also publicly stated that he does not want to engage with or communicate with certain council members. That is not an equitable approach to public service. We do not have to get along, but the expectation of professionalism and working together for the sake of city business is at the very least what is owed to our residents, especially from the seat of the mayor. Additionally, in a meeting several weeks ago, the mayor pro tem openly cursed at a resident and lost composure during official proceedings. The mayor failed to intervene properly and maintain order, allowing the disruption to continue unchecked. During that same meeting, a councilwoman raised a question about the conduct and the mayor publicly reprimanded her, lost his composure and asserted that it was his meeting and he did not need help from anyone to run it. These incidents are just a few that demonstrate why this structure and this wording in this document is concerning, and they do not provide the necessary checks, balances, and accountability. More importantly, they do not assure our community that this leadership will operate fair, respectfully, and in a collaborative manner. For those reasons, I don't support this document as written.
I agree, Jen, those two items that you mentioned first, especially that it gives, the mayor, we're all on council, we should all have say in it. And any kind of whatever goes on, not just the mayor and pro tem. No matter who's there, it should be a joint effort.
Is there anybody else that has something? The document is printed. I wasn't expecting to have any bills drawn up tonight or to move forward with this. I think this is going to be ongoing. One of the things that has recently been discussed is investigation of council members. There is no pathway for a resident to make a complaint except for coming right here and addressing the council as a whole. I think that there ought to be something in the documentation on how that can happen. This is the second time in a year that this resident has wanted to make a complaint to the city council, and we do not have any avenue for that. So I believe that needs to be addressed as well. Plus, I believe that this really needs a lot of discussion on it. And was probably something better that now that we've got it started, to put on as a work session down the road in September.
Can I ask a question? How often does I know the pro temp only sits there when you're not there. And normally you're not there, you're normally not here. So my question is, Jen, why are you talking about the pro temp so often in your concern?
Lisa, because the document says the mayor or the mayor pro tem has control, may interpret, may monitor, may mediate, may disrupt. And so this document gives the mayor and or mayor pro tem that authority, and that's why I brought it up.
I'm sorry, can you tell me where that's at? Cause I didn't see it. I'm sorry, I
I
just didn't see where it was at.
I get the impression that it's on there. And Mr. O'Keefe, you can correct me. Uh, just in case he's not here and something happens, then the pro tem, I think that's why
Right.
it's,
Just for
And
short,
yeah.
you can, if you have a paper agenda, Lisa, you can look at the back sheet,
Okay,
and that's a short version of it.
I got it. But I just didn't see it, I'm sorry.
Is there any other suggestions? Discussion, questions?
I think it's a good start, but I do think that we need to continue to work on it, like you said.
No further questions, we'll move on the agenda.
If I may,
Mr. O'Keefe.
I invite the council members to submit their comments directly to me, not copy all. I don't want to get into having an electronic meeting. But for those of you who also note that I believe the portions of the draft bill to which Councilmember Hatton was referring on the red line that was circulated to you for this discussion, I have marked that as a recommendation to delete, which is what the bill circulated to you said. But other changes that you want, tell me what you want to see, and I will draft.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Hearing none, mayor and council reports. September 10th work session. Board and commission appointments. I have Charles McGee, City Plan Commission, Ward 2, and Jade Brooks, Green Committee, Ward 2. Is there any other recommendations from city council members? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the two that have been presented?
So moved, Taylor. Second, Smith.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Mayor, I have something to say.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I had a, resident that had to have for, I forgot what I was gonna say. David, help me here. My resident down the street from me.
For the mediation?
Yeah.
Okay, or the,
Yeah, mediation that, she had a lot of stuff in front of her house.
abatement of property.
The abatement of, yes, thank you, abatement of property. And my residents, it was an ongoing thing that we've had. So code enforcement, we finally got it done to where code enforcement finally had to come and clean her house up, clean the outside up. So it was the front of her house and the back of her house. And I think it was like 3 loads of things that they had to take, so. The residents highly praised code enforcement for getting the job done, and. They came to me and wanted me to let code enforcement. Thank you for what they had to do. And I know there was some things that they couldn't take. She has a lot of plants which were still alive, which that was things that, you know, they weren't able to take, but I know sometimes code enforcement gets, you know, a bad rap, and the guys, they did a wonderful job. They did what they needed to do. The residents that lived on either side of her were just ecstatic that they were there. They were there the whole time. The guys were taking her things away. And, at first I got yelled at because stuff wasn't getting done. And they didn't understand the process that had to go, that was going through to get it done. But once the process was done, they understood it took time to get there. So I want to thank code enforcement, I want to thank David. And I want to thank the police department because they were also there. So my neighbors want to thank them, and that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I say something?
Yes.
I'd actually like to address Ms. Jones and her complaint against me. Ms. Jones, I'm sorry that you feel, I'm sorry that you feel that you're being harassed, but I'd like to clear up some inaccurate and untruths that you stated. You stated that at the last meeting that I called you out by name and stated that you should be removed from the Community Enrichment Commission. That is untrue. At the last,
I didn't say my.
There's no,
Okay,
we're not having
at
a debate on this.
Okay.
Just say your speech, not directed to
okay,
individual.
at the last meeting, a resident, Sharon Dash, came up and asked the mayor why he had not responded to an email sent by a trustee over a month ago. It has now been a month, and the mayor responded to her and said he didn't know anything about it. I then said to the mayor, the email was sent to you and I, and then a week later, I sent a reminder email to you, Mayor. So I was bringing it to his attention. The email was not sent by me. I didn't have anything to do with questioning your residency. And I would like to go back to the beginning of August 2023, when you and I had a conversation via messenger about the comprehensive plan committee. At the time, I had asked you if you wanted to serve. I then attempted to make an appointment for you, but I was told by the mayor that he had spoke to a family member and you were moving, so I could not appoint you. At that time, you were never officially appointed. So by stating that I revoked your appointment in 2024, that's incorrect. You never were appointed because the mayor said you were moving. I then appointed another resident for Ward 8 to that. Then in August 2024, you filed a complaint with the mayor because you said I did not appoint you to the commission, and he then in turn appointed you for the last half of that ad hoc committee. I never said you weren't a resident. I tried to appoint you, and I was told otherwise. You are saying that I am making comments about your residency, and I really don't care where you live and where you lay your head. These are questions that are coming to me. I have residents, I have trustees, and I have advisory committee members. I also have members of the community enrichment who said, you've told them you're resigning, you told them you're moving, you've stepped down as chair. It doesn't matter to me, I don't care, but you are perpetuating this rumor that you are not, that you moved, that you don't live there. It has nothing to do with me, I've not stated it. I'm just bringing issues that my residents bring to me to others. And you went ahead and stated that I resigned from the development committee and the Riverwood Trails HOA, which is inaccurate. My terms were up. The development committee, actually, we dissolved that, so nobody actually serves on that anymore. The HOA had new trustees. And then as far as my two appointments to the community enrichment and to the I Choose committee, both of those I was serving on with you and resigned, and you know exactly why I resigned, because of drama you created. So with that being said, you also stated that I went on social media on the city's page and made comments. Ms. Jones, you were the one who called me out and Ms. Dash and said that we brought your name up during the meeting. You stated it under the recording, called us out, and all I stated was you have never sent me an email. So that's fine. I'm sorry that you feel like you're being attacked. I'm just bringing issues that residents are bringing to me. Again, I don't care where you reside. Doesn't matter. You're not my appointment. And you state that there's 2 open vacancies on community enrichment for Ward 8. That's not true. There's one and it's about to be filled. The other one is you and the other one is Carol Mueller. So those are the 3. That's all.
I was going to speak with the HOA tonight and, apologize. I did miss the email for the first week. It did not come from Sharon Dash, as I originally had thought. The next day I figured out that it was stated here at the meeting that it came from a new person from the HOA. This email is a repeat of questions on how to remove somebody from the commission. This was all discussed last year. This is a repeat of discussing the same removal process last year. I will meet with the HOA. I don't understand what their wants are here, but I'll certainly be happy to meet the new person on the HOA and meet with Ms. Dash and sometime in the next week to explain the situation. Other than that, I have no comments to address on the situation on hand here. Just trying to hold the city's responsibilities and do everything fair and legally. Is there anything else under mayor and council reports?
I have something, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to address. Now that we're at the tail end of mowing season, properties that we have to go through abatement and have mowed, how much do we charge the owner versus how much it actually costs the city?
We take the bill that we are issued and we put it as a lien on the property.
Okay. But does that amount equate to the code enforcement time that's put into that, the court time? I think we're letting these property owners who just let the city take care of their shit for them. I'm sorry. And maybe we need to make the penalty have a little bit more teeth. I think we need to look into that to see where we stand in comparison to other communities, so we can deter that behavior in the future.
Valid question. I don't have an answer for you, sir, but I will find one and talk to Heather.
Thank you.
On this. Thank you, sir.
Anything else under mayor and council reports?
On a positive note, I have been walking around my neighborhood since I became council member, and anybody in my neighborhood knows I walk and pick up trash as I walk or walk my dog. And I have noticed people, I don't know if they're following suit or what, but I've noticed a lot of people helping pick up trash. And I have noticed that it has dwindled a little bit in the last month or so, because my bags aren't as full and I'm getting to meet the residents. So that's a good thing. So I thought we'd end on a good note. That's all.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Hearing none, we'll move on to city manager's report. We have the public quarterly report. Mr. David Stewart.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, David Stewart, Public Works Director. Happy to provide the quarterly report for the Public Works Department tonight. So we've successfully completed our 10-week limb collection for this spring. The tornado debris pile that was stockpiled at our Belts property has been tub grinded and cleared out. Related to our tornado and some of the storm activity that the metro area received this spring, as a Public Works Association, I happen to be on the board of directors. We're taking the initiative to formalize a mutual aid agreement. It's kind of been informal at this point. We try to help out each city as we can when a storm arises, but we'd like to make that a little bit more formal. And so you can anticipate something forthcoming to a future council meeting to address that as a formal mutual aid agreement. With special thanks to Mr. Leeser, we've implemented a new mowing contract that's allowed to free up city staff to increase the level of service at our parks facility-wide. We are currently under contract for the Purcell Park improvements. We held our pre-con with the contractor. There is a several-month lead time on the pre-engineered restroom facility. So in talking with the contractor, they have opted to hold off on mobilizing their forces until those facilities can arrive on site. And so in terms of the residents seeing a lot of activity at that park, you can anticipate probably in the October timeframe of this year. The Phantom Road reconstruction project. So we did have a hearing and the judge has ordered condemnation proceedings on the remaining easements that we need for that project. Our $500,000 concrete panel replacement project for the improvements to our city streets throughout the city. The contractor has completed the base contract. It was under bid, so we added some additional slabs for replacement. They've come back and have been working on that. They were actually on site today. They've got a few more panels to get done and then do backfilling and site cleanup. We took care of some damaged infrastructure out there, a traffic signal mast arm out at St. Louis Mills Circle that was hit by a dump truck, a streetlight junction box out at Hazelwood Logistics Center. We've repaired and replaced those. We've done a lot of asphalt patching, street sweeping, tree trimming, and we've been working to finalize our street sealing contract for this fall. We have installed at the behest of the fire department, the flood sensor that monitors flood levels at Coldwater Creek at St. Sen Park. Kudos to the fire department for that very important initiative. We have completed several office and facility remodels associated with movement of personnel throughout city facilities. We've done a lot of planning and preparation for Hazelwood Day coming up Saturday, September 13th. And finally, we've successfully completed another season of Fun in the Sun with a special thanks to our aquatic supervisor, Jeff Knowles. We were able to fully staff our aquatic operations this year, the first time since pre-COVID, and returning to a full 7 days per week. And then yesterday we had 38 dogs help us to close out the season with our annual dog swim. Thank you very much.
Anything else to add? Dave?
Yes, sir, if I may, something I emailed the council about, but I think it's important to let the residents hear this too. At the last city council meeting, I updated everyone on shootings that took place on the 600 block of Coach Light and how the police had to handle that issue. In the report, I stated the owner was in the process of taking legal action to evict the renters from that location. I am pleased to report the day after our council meeting, the eviction hearing was held. The judge sided with the homeowners. U-Hauls were immediately dispatched to the properties to remove the contents, and we have confirmation renters have vacated the property. Want to report that over the past few weeks, the police and public works department has been working together to start to identify areas where we'll be installing speed cushions. We have three locations identified at this time. Riverwood Estates Boulevard near number 37 Riverwood Estates Boulevard, about 200 feet past Mission Walk, a stop sign. Speed hump signs will be about 100 feet before the cushion. Flamingo, between the driveways of number 15 and number 14 Flamingo, speed hump signs will need to be 100 feet before the cushion. And Fifi Road, this is the resident who showed up last 2 weeks ago, 200 feet before the stop sign in the northbound lane of the lanes only. The speed hump sign needs to be 125 feet before the cushions. There are some other things we're looking at Fifi Road, but I want you to know that we are in the process of determining those locations, measuring them, and we should have the installation taking place in the very near future. MoDOT crews will close Herschel Road from Hanley Road to Hazelwood Avenue this coming Friday, September 5th, from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the deck for the new I-170 bridge over Herschel. Signs will direct motorists around the closure via Hazelwood Avenue. Something that we were just notified late this afternoon about 4 o'clock, the U.S. Corps of Engineers is remediating properties adjacent to Coldwater Creek, including the creek and banks in Hazelwood, in the Foxmont and Elmwood areas. These are the properties that were impacted by the 2022 flood, approximately 6 to 8 of those properties. This is part of a radiological cleanup under St. Louis District's formerly utilized sites remedial action program, or better known as FUSRAP. There are plans by the Corps of Engineers to hold a public meeting for the residents living in that area. And I want to stress again, this is that area off of Foxmont. It's not the Winding Creek area that we're dealing with. That there will be a public meeting with residents in that area of the remediation on Monday, September 15th from 5 to 7 p.m. at St. Sen Park Pavilion. The Corps is remediating 6 properties adjacent to the creek. They are removing trees and brush in preparation for the remediation. Actual digging will tentatively start next week. They put door hangers on several houses in the neighborhood to inform the residents, but there are still seems to be a lot of residents who do not know what's going on, thus the purpose of this meeting. The purpose is to explain what fuse wrap is, how they are remediating, and how they are protecting the public during the remediation of the area. The Corps of Engineers also does several monitoring wells in the area to start monitoring the groundwater. They want to make sure we are not affecting the groundwater because of the remediation, or they are not affecting the groundwater because of the remediation, and will continue to monitor the creek to make sure that they are not causing any recontamination of the water. I also want everybody to know that I did talk to representatives of the Corps late this evening. Their intent is to come at the next city council meeting to give a presentation to the council and to the public and to answer any questions that the council may have. So that is our plan for the next city council meeting. Finally, at the last city council meeting, we discussed the possibility of extending a thoroughway on Pratt's Place for pedestrians and cyclists. Public Works Director Dave Stewart has communicated with the city of Florissant about this project. They will likely add Pratt Place sidewalk to their concrete contract next year. Our request for them is to have, if they could add our small portion to their contract, then we will reimburse them on the project, and they are currently looking at and responding accordingly. So that is the latest on Pratt Place and everything else. We will be pushing out the Corps of Engineers meeting at St. Cent Park on our social media avenues, but I wanted everybody to know about that. I'm happy to address any questions that you might have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Includes city manager's report. Next, we have the city attorney's report.
No reports.
City clerk's report.
Report.
New business, consideration of amending chapter 230, human rights related to prohibited discrimination. I believe we've had some information that was sent to us that we considered, not too sure how long ago. 2 or 3 years ago. And, the council did not move forward with this at the time, but it's up for reconsideration and discussion. So let's hear what the council wants to do.
Mayor, I would just like to add, I brought this up and asked the council to put this on the agenda after Mr. Henley Hudson brought this to us last meeting. I think it's really important that I understand that what our current policy is written in line with state law, and that's great, and I appreciate that we are following that. But I think that it's important for us to add this additional language of sexual orientation and gender identity. It's very important to many of our residents, and I believe that by adding these protected groups to our policy, we demonstrate that the council and the city understand the challenges members of these groups face, and that we stand with them in ensuring equal protection.
I looked up some of this myself, and there were 8 other municipalities within St. Louis County that had this verbiage. I don't have an issue with it. I'm okay to add it.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I'll reiterate what I said 3 years ago when I brought this in front of the council. I don't want anyone in the city of Hazelwood to feel that they're not welcome in our community.
I feel the same way. Being a retired teacher, I always made sure everyone felt welcome. And if someone is feeling unwelcome because just of some verbiage, if we could change it to make somebody feel welcome, I would be for that.
Is there any other questions or comments? Are we ready to? Kevin, you wanna read?
I have, well, I've circulated to the council a draft bill to add the gender, sexual orientation and gender identity.
Can I make a motion to add that to the agenda for first reading?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kevin.
No, that's it. I've circulated the bill to do that. If the council wants to act.
Yeah.
Motion to add it to the agenda for first reading would be in order.
Motion to add it to the agenda for first reading, please.
Is there any other council discussion? Any other council discussion? Hearing none, there's been a motion.
I'll second.
Put on for first reading, or now a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. That concludes, new business, introduction and first reading of bills. Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 5181, first reading, an ordinance authorizing granting a permanent special land use permit to Chef's Kiss LLC, doing business as Big Boy Burgers for the restaurant at 6186 Outer Shell Road, and providing the conditions of such use. Bill number 5182, first reading, an ordinance establishing the annual rate of ad valorem taxes levied for the year 2025 for general and other municipal purposes on all real and personal property in the city of Hazelwood, Missouri, and the annual fee for the city's sewer lateral service line repair program. Bill number 5183, first reading, an ordinance amending chapter 230 of the Hazelwood City Code relating to prohibited discrimination. That concludes first reading of bills.
Thank you. Item 18, we've got second reading of bills, 18A, bill number 5179.
Bill number 5179, second reading and consideration for adoption. An ordinance authorizing a contract with Unisol for computer network services for a one-year term at a cost not to exceed $119,400. Thank you for stalling enough for me to get it up on my screen.
I'm used to it. Next, 18B is, I'm sorry, we have to adopt this one.
Move to adopt. Second, who's?
There's been a motion and a second. Did you want to say anything, Lisa? No. Any further discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Hatton?
Yes.
Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson?
Yes.
Ms. Whitlow? Yes. Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Bill number 5179 is unanimously adopted as ordinance number 5061-25.
Thank you. 18B, we have bill number 5180.
Bill number 5180, second reading and consideration for adoption. An ordinance authorizing a contract with CNR Mechanical Company for purchase and installation of a rooftop HVAC unit at the police station at a cost not to exceed $195,858.
Move to adopt.
Second, Matlock.
Been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Hatton?
Yes.
Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson?
Yes.
Ms. Whitlow?
Yes.
Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Bill number 5180 is unanimously adopted as ordinance number 5062-25.
That concludes second reading of bills. 19A, we have Hazelwood Day, September 13th at 3 p.m. We've got a regular city council meeting at September 17th, 6:30 p.m. There's no further business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn, Chairman.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. We do have a closed session in about 5 minutes. Everybody, good night.